Hello students, welcome back. Now you go to the page number 7 of the PDF. There are some graphs which actually boards, okay? Variation of resistance versus temperature and resistivity versus temperature for different substances we need to do. First, for a conductor, resistance versus temperature. Okay, resistance versus temperature. Now, with temperature, we know resistance of a conductor is proportional to temperature. These things we know for a conductor. If I increase the temperature, resistance will also increase. Okay, but at the same time, okay, listen very carefully. For the same time, so what the scientists did, the physicists, they try to decrease the temperature of the resistance. Okay, sorry, temperature of the conductor, and they see that the resistance of the conductor is also decreasing. Okay, temperature of the conductor decreasing, resistance is also decreasing. And they find out that there is a particular temperature which is called as critical temperature that we will study after some time also in the topic superconductor. Okay, when we try to decrease the temperature of a conductor continuously, there is one temperature comes, okay, which is very low temperature, almost minus, okay, minus 273, something like that, Kelvin, 273 minus something, where the temperature, if I put that conductor at that temperature, the resistance of that conductor becomes zero. Okay, that temperature is called as critical temperature. Now, taking this into mind, we will draw the graph. In books, the graph is like this. Resistance is increasing, temperature is increasing. But if you draw a graph like this, it is basically wrong. Why? This graph show when the temperature is zero, resistance also zero. नहीं, टेम्परेचर जीरो देने से रेजिस्टेंस जीरो नहीं होता है. टेम्परेचर जब क्रिटिकल टेम्परेचर होगा तब रेजिस्टेंस जीरो होता है. सो इट विल बी अ स्ट्रेट लाइन ग्राफ, बट यू हैव टू शो अ डॉटेड लाइन लाइक दिस. Okay, we show that if the temperature goes to negative value, then there is a particular temperature called as critical temperature. At least the resistance becomes zero. So graph will be like this. Okay, so what is the reason I show in this direction? You understood? It is not from zero. Next, for semiconductors, we know resistance is inversely proportional to temperature. As we increase the temperature, bonds break, more charge carriers produce, more conducting option is available now. That means the resistance decreases. That means it is inversely proportional. So the graph will be in this way. Both sides parallel. Okay. Now comes to resistivity versus temperature. There are many graphs for resistivity versus temperature, and they ask in boards. Okay. So try to understand very nicely. First, we understand for resistivity that resistivity is little awkward. They behave in a different way. Okay, if I talk about a normal temperature, that is room temperature. Okay, room temperature, that is room temperature to 500 Kelvin. Okay, then the graph of resistivity versus temperature will be a straight line, not starting from zero. Resistivity is a materialistic property. It can never be zero. Okay, it will be start from certain point and be straight line. This is also asked like in a board they will show, they will ask you like this, draw a graph of resistivity versus temperature for a nichrome. So for nichrome we will draw this graph, or if they say any conductor at normal temperature, room temperature, then we will draw this graph. Okay, but if they say at low temperature, draw a graph of resistivity versus temperature. So we know at low temperatures, the conductors behave in a different manner. They increase, but they didn't increase linearly. So the graph will start from some point and it will be a non-linear graph like this. Okay. Sometimes they ask you like this. They will say you directly at low temperature, or sometimes they will say you at low temperature show the variation of resistivity versus temperature for copper or aluminium. So these words, these things you have to remember. So if they ask you for copper and aluminium at low temperature, you will draw this graph. Okay. If they ask you for normal temperature, you will draw this graph. Okay. Understood? Okay. If low temperatures are not mentioned to you, low temperature is not mentioned to you, normal temperature is not mentioned to you. If they ask you directly for nichrome, draw this graph. For copper, draw this graph. Okay. If they mention you low temperature, normal temperature, you draw this. But if they don't mention the temperature, if they mention only copper, you have to draw this graph. Okay. Now comes to semiconductor. Again, for semiconductor, resistivity is inversely to temperature. Okay, then what will happen to the conductivity? So what is conductivity? Conductivity is 1 by resistivity. That means conductivity is what? Directly proportional to temperature. If I increase the temperature, conductivity will also increase. So how the graph will show? कैसे आ जाएगा? So okay, so resistivity versus temperature. कैसा होगा ग्राफ? ऐसा होगा, इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल. अब इसी में अगर तुम्हें एग्जाम में कंडक्टिविटी वर्सेस टेम्परेचर पूछ दे तो क्या करोगे? कंडक्टिविटी वर्सेस टेम्परेचर, ड्रॉ स्ट्रेट लाइन ग्राफ, बट विल नॉट स्टार्ट फ्रॉम जीरो. Okay, this thing is not there in the notes, but it may ask. Any graph can may ask. You have to apply this concept to do it. Okay. Now, insulators like carbon. This is quite unique. We have to draw a graph of resistivity versus temperature for insulators like carbon. Now, there is some misconception about carbons. Okay. Sometimes people say carbon is a conductor. Actually, it's a non-metal. It's not a metal. For metallic, these proportionals valid. Okay. Here, resistivity is proportional to temperature. Okay. Now, carbon is a non-metal. There are different allotropes of carbon, like amorphous carbon, graphite, diamond. Out of this, graphite is only a good conductor of electricity. So, if they don't mention graphite, that means for me, carbon is an insulator, a completely insulator. Okay, so we say insulator. In the exam they ask you insulator also. They may ask you directly draw a graph of resistivity versus temperature for carbon. So for this inversely proportional temperature, temperature बढ़ेगा तो resistivity घटेगा. So that means the graph will be like this. Okay, so how the question will come, you understand what I'm saying? Okay, don't get confused. Like again I'm saying, if they ask you draw the resistivity versus temperature graph for nickel, we'll draw this. For copper, we will draw this. For aluminum, we will draw this. Or if they ask you for a conductor at high temperature, at normal temperature, at room temperature, draw this. Okay, at low temperature, draw this. Understand? If they ask you for semiconductor, instead of semiconductor, they will say you silicon or germanium. Okay, these words are not written in the notes. Please, you can note it down. Silicon, germanium. They will not ask you directly semiconductor. They will say silicon. It's a semiconductor. You have to draw this graph. Germanium is a semiconductor. Draw this graph. Okay. Now, if they ask you for insulator, draw this graph. If they ask you for carbon, draw this graph. Now, again, a very interesting alloys. What is the variation of resistivity versus temperature for alloys? So we understand in the previous video that for alloys, the alpha value is very small. Change in resistance and resistivity is very small. So what will happen? It will be almost a straight line. Not a straight line, parallel line नहीं होगा, parallel line नहीं होगा, थोड़ा सा incline होगा, which showing that the resistivity is increasing but in a very less amount. Okay, so like this. Understood class? Okay. Now, in the notes you will see variation of conductivity there. One more topic is there, variation of conductivity. Okay, so let's talk about conductivity. एक तो मैंने बना दिया आपने conductivity का. So conductivity versus temperature. If I want to draw for a conductor, okay, this was for semiconductor, conductivity versus temperature. So conductivity is reciprocal of resistivity. If you remember this, you can do it. If it is inversely proportional, here it becomes directly proportional. Why? Because it is reciprocal of resistivity. So now, for conductors, resistivity is proportional to temperature. And what will happen? Conductivity is inversely proportional to temperature. Why? Because resistivity is reciprocal of conductivity. Okay, conductivity is denoted by sigma like this. So the graph will be what? ऐसा inversely proportional ऐसा graph होगा. Okay, conductivity versus temperature. Temperature बढ़ाऊंगा तो resistivity बढ़ेगा as well as conductivity घटेगा. So like this. But when they talk about conductors, they indirectly ask you two types of conductors, especially when we talk about conductivity, not resistivity. Only conductivity. When we conductivity मतलब कितना easily conduct करेगा. Okay, so there are metallic conductors. If I talk about metallic conductors, that means I am talking about free electron charge cages. Okay, that means this funda will work. That means this expression will work. ml by m by n e square tau. This is the expression which work only for conductors, that is metallic conductors. From there only I got this. From here I got this. And with this condition valid for metallic conductors. Okay. But sometimes they ask you for ionic conductors also. Now basically if I talk about ionic conductors means what? I'm talking, it's not exactly electrolyte, not exactly electrolyte. It consists of ionic bonds. These consist of covalent bonds. Okay. So ionic bonds. In case of ionic bonds, what is happening now? With increasing temperature, bonds break like a semiconductor. Bonds break, okay? So when the bonds break, more charge carriers are producing. So when more charge carriers are producing, what is happening? Conductivity is increasing. So in these cases, conductivity is proportional to temperature. Here it is inversely proportional. Here it is proportional. Okay? Because of the ionic bonds which break easily. So it is something like semiconductors. Understood? So here the graph will be what? It will be proportional graph starting from some point. So ionic conductors, I am talking about the semiconductors where when we give some temperature, bonds break and charge carriers produce. Okay, now see. In this, there are 3 types of questions may come. They will say you, show the variation of conductivity versus temperature for a conductor. Then you have to draw both metallic conductor, ionic conductor all together. Show a variation of the conductivity versus temperature for a metallic conductor. सीधे बनाओगे. Third question for ionic conductor. सीधे बनाओगे. When they ask you conductor, दोनों बनाना पड़ेगा. Is that okay, class? You understood all the graphs. Especially focus on the resistivity. You have to remember the different uniqueness of resistivity. Like carbon में क्या होता है? Okay, alloys में क्या होता है? कंडक्टर्स 2 टाइप के हैं. लो टेम्परेचर में अलग काम करता है, हाई टेम्परेचर में अलग काम करता है. रेजिस्टिविटी के केस में बात कर रहा हूं मैं. ओके, हाई टेम्परेचर मतलब नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर में स्ट्रेट लाइन ग्राफ होगा. एट लो टेम्परेचर इट इज कर्वी ग्राफ होगा. यू गेटिंग द आइडिया क्लास? ओके, नाउ लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक. ओके क्लास, नाउ विल गो टू द पेज नंबर 8. Okay, there is one topic named as current density. Again, this is an important topic asked in boards. Now you will say, sir, बोल रहा है हर चीज important है, छोड़ू क्या? So physics से we cannot leave anything class. If you check out the last 10 years papers, everything has come. कुछ ना कुछ कहीं ना कहीं पूछा ही गया है. So it's not mathematics that we can choose like yes, from this type of question will be coming. Physics में सब पढ़ना पड़ेगा बेटा. From there we can say you like which are very important, which are few less important. Okay. Now current density. What is current density? Current density is denoted by J. It is current per unit area. Okay. Amount of current flowing through any cross section. Now in the definition is written like this: amount of current flowing through any cross sectional area held perpendicular to the flow of charges. What does that mean? That means the area which you will consider. For example, I am considering this cross sectional area. This cross-sectional area should be perpendicular to the flow of charges. So charges are flowing like this, area is like this. So area, the plane of the area should be perpendicular. That is the meaning of held perpendicular. That means if you take the cross-section in this way, then you cannot put this area here. Okay, you have to take that area. Let's make a bigger one. If you take this area and the charge is flowing in this way, then it's correct because this area is perpendicular to flow of charges. But if you take this area, then it's not correct. The area which you are taking here should be perpendicular to the flow of charges. That is the meaning of that line, held perpendicular to the flow of charges in the definition. Okay, now see, from here, what is J? J is I into A. Okay, so this is current density. Now if we talk about unit, can I say current area, what is the unit of current? Ampere meter square per meter square. So this is the SI unit of current density. Understood? Clear? Now, current density is actually a vector quantity. We write it like this. J vector equals to I into A vector. Okay? Now, if it is a vector quantity, current is not a vector quantity. Current density is a vector quantity. If it is a vector quantity, it has some direction. Direction is the conventional current direction. If I say this is plus, this is minus of a source, how the current flow from positive to negative, this is the conventional direction. So this is the direction of J vector. So current density direction is nothing but direction of conventional current. That is direction of positive charges. This is okay. Now, sometimes we use like this. Sorry. J equals to I. What is I? I equals to J into A. So J vector, not A vector. Now, मैंने थोड़ा गलती कर दिया class. I'm very sorry. See here, I is J into A. So when we have J vector, A vector, we have a dot product. I is J vector dot A vector. Okay. Or we can write like this also. J vector equals to I by A vector. So basically we don't write it this way. We write it this way. In scalar form we write J equals to I by A. But in vector form I write I equals to J vector dot A vector. It is a dot product of current density and area vector. Area vector should be perpendicular to the flow of charges. Okay. Now, sometimes we use this formula. I equals to integration of J vector dot dA vector. Now, when to use this formula? Okay, try to understand what I am saying now. We can use this formula directly. Okay, when this J vector is not variable. That means if you choose any cross-sectional area, I have chosen this cross-sectional area, or this much, or this much. If you take any cross-sectional area, the J is constant. Okay, the J is not changing. Then I can use this expression to find the current value. But if the J value change with the area, then we have to use same concept of integration. When this value will not constant, when it change with the area, then we use this expression. That means in these cases, J will be written in terms of A. For example, J is something radius पे depend कर रहा होगा, मान लो इस radius पे depend कर रहा होगा. यहाँ पे radius अलग है, यहाँ पे radius अलग है, यहाँ पे radius अलग है. For example, it's 2r square plus r like this. Okay, so J is depending on the radius. That is J is depending on the area. That is written in the notes. Then we use this expression to find the current integration. Otherwise, we use directly go for J vector dot A vector. Okay. Now, you understand these things, class? What is current density? Clear? Unit is clear. Okay. Now, this topic is not there in the notes. The notes which I have sent you. So I will edit it. I will send you the next one. So you follow the notes which I have given you with the videos. Okay. I will add this because this is very important. Ohm's law in vector form. Now I want to write Ohm's law in vector form. So what is Ohm's law? Ohm's law is V equals to IR. इसको क्या वेक्टर फॉर्म लिखो? इसमें तो V पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस है. पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस तो वर्क डन है. फर्स्ट चैप्टर, सेकंड चैप्टर. It's a scalar quantity. Resistance is a scalar quantity. Current is a scalar quantity. So Ohm's law in vector form is this. Current vector, that is current density, equals to conductivity into electric field vector. So this is Ohm's law in vector quantity, which may ask in multiple choice questions in your boards. Okay. Now, how to prove this? That I have shown you. How to prove this? Okay. In this proof that part, there are two proofs. First, from here to here, this is the relation between current and drift velocity, or not. We can say current density and drift velocity. Relation between current density and drift velocity, and then we derive this one. So see how I'm starting. I have to prove J vector equals to sigma into E. So I'm starting with J. What is J? Current density, current area. I need electric field. Here we have electric field ना. So current के जगह मैं क्या लिखूं? NEA VD. A कट जाएगा. A नहीं है, कट गया A. अब मुझे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड चाहिए. VD को तोड़ो. Okay. So what we got? After substituting I equals to NEA VD, A cancel. We got J equals to NEA VD. Till here we have in the notes. Okay. So this is the relation between current density and drift velocity. Now I want the relation between current density and electric field. So break the drift velocity further. E tau by m. Now break. No, you don't have to break. We've already got E. See, E tau by m. We already got E. We got E here. So other than E, what we have? N E square tau by m. N E square tau by m. What is this? What is resistivity? M by N E square tau. Or I told you to remember this now. ML by N E square A tau. This is resistance. That means if I remove L and A, we will have resistivity. What is resistivity? N E square tau. Why? Because what is resistance? Rho L by A. I'm starting from 0. I told you to remember this formula. Resistance equals to ML by N E square A tau. Okay. We know this formula in class 10. Rho L by A. L by A, L by A. What is rho? M by N E square tau. And what is conductivity? 1 by resistivity. That means N E square tau by M. Okay. So that is whatever you got there. What is that? That is conductivity. So we got J equals to sigma into conductivity. Now that is conductivity to electric field. Now if I want to write in vector form, J vector equals to sigma into A vector. This is Ohm's law in vector form. Okay. Now, in the same page, let's see whether we are talking about the same page or yes. In the same page, that is page number 8, we have a topic called superconductivity. Okay, let's deal with the topic that is quite interesting in day-to-day life, but it is not used in day-to-day life. Used नहीं होता है, but it's actually a revolutionary thing which maybe one of you will do in future. कोई बड़े होके फिजिसिस्ट अच्छा बड़ा साइंटिस्ट बन के क्या पता तुम लोग ये कर दो. So what is superconductor? What is superconductivity? थोड़ा बहुत हमने पढ़ लिया था superconductivity. जहाँ पे मैंने एक मिस्टेक किया था, I'll see you later on. Okay. Now superconductivity, Superman किसको बोलते हैं? Who are Superman? A man who don't have normal limitations of other man. Okay. What is superconductor? A conductor which don't have normal limitations of other conductors. What is the limitation of a conductor? Conductor is a substance which can conduct electricity, but at the same time it obstructs electricity. That is resistance. ये है limitation. उसके अंदर हर टाइम एक obstruction भी रहता है, resistance. So superconductors are those conductors which don't have any resistance. उसका कोई limitation नहीं है. उसका resistance zero होता है. Those conductors are called superconductors. So conductor whose resistance becomes zero are called superconductors. Is that okay? Now, we have discussed that in a graph of resistance versus temperature. This is the graph. Temperature बढ़ाऊंगा, resistance बढ़ेगा. When we start decreasing the temperature, resistance becomes zero at a particular temperature called as critical temperature. This critical temperature is that minimum temperature at which the resistance of a conductor becomes zero, and then the conductor becomes a superconductor. Okay. Now, I told you that value will be negative, minus 273 something like. Okay, yes, it is true, but exact value we will get only for mercury, Hg. Scientists have found out only for mercury it is 4.2 Kelvin. What they did with mercury in resistance versus temperature, they draw a graph. Okay, they did experiment. Okay, so what happens? Here the temperature is in Kelvin. यहाँ पे Kelvin से temperature start होगा. यहाँ पे temperature मैंने नहीं बोला किससे start होगा. Okay, here starting with Kelvin. Now see, the graph is somewhat like this. यहाँ से बढ़ रहा है जैसे नॉर्मल ग्राफ होता है, बट जैसे ही ये ग्राफ 4.2 केल्विन में आया, 4.2 केल्विन में आया, दैट इज माइनस 260 समथिंग डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड. माइनस, याद रखना माइनस. हाँ, हम लोग के यहाँ पे 1 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड ठंडा होने से हालत खराब हो जाता है. 1 डिग्री 1 डिग्री तो ज्यादा बोल दिया. इफ इट इज 15-16 and we are gone in Siliguri. So it is minus 260 something degree centigrade. So at this temperature, physicists find that mercury resistance suddenly becomes zero. See, I'm decreasing the temperature, temperature. At this point, suddenly the resistance becomes zero. So now 4.2 Kelvin is the critical temperature for mercury. Okay, that means the mercury becomes a superconductor at 4.2 Kelvin. Understood? Now, what is the problem? Then why we don't use this superconductor in practical life? Here is the problem. Do you think any living being can survive in this temperature? 4.2 Kelvin? No. That means the temperature, the critical temperature, जो value मिलता है हमको, okay, that is not feasible in real life. Okay, that is only practically in laboratory में एक छोटे से जगह में I can maintain this temperature, I can do it, but practically it is not possible. Okay, scientists are still learning about this project, superconductors. Okay, why? Why they are learning about this project? Now see, if one of you can invent this superconductor in coming future generation, what will happen? Future conductor is a conductor's resistance is zero. When the resistance is zero, there is no power loss. When this current will flow, heat loss होता क्या है? I square RT. Power loss क्या होता है? I square R. That means the power is lost only due to the resistance of the conductor. If you can make the resistance zero, there is no power loss. That means what will happen now? We need to buy every month we used to give some electricity bill, right? That is not the bill of the electricity, that is the bill of the electrical energy. And the electrical energy is basically lost. Okay? Understand what I'm saying? So it is lost. So if the resistance becomes zero, then so much loss of electrical energy goes down. So what will happen? आराम से जिंदगी जी सकते हैं. We don't have to spend so much in electricity bill. Okay, to compensate these heat losses, the few devices are bulky in shape. So now with the invention of this superconductors, what will happen? और छोटा छोटा सामान बिकने लगेगा. अभी तो छोटा छोटा फोन दिखता है हमको, छोटे छोटे माइक्रो प्रोसेसर्स है, बट उससे भी छोटे छोटे चीजें आ जाएंगी हमारे डेली लाइफ में if there is no resistance, if there is no heat loss. Okay, so that's why this is very important in day-to-day life. But since again it's about practical use, the reason is this temperatures we cannot get in real life. In real life, if we get this temperature, no one will survive. Okay, now in the page number 8, at the end, the graph which is there, which already discussed in the previous. Okay, the previous video, I think in this video we have discussed resistivity, conductivity graph. Okay, class. Okay, let's go to the next video where we will learn different graphical questions, how to solve it. Thank you, class.